Hey, I'm going to introduce you to the world's fastest dentist. He's a motorcycle racer in Moto America, which is the fastest and premier league in American motorcycle racing. He's 54 years old, he's an oral surgeon, he's one of us, he's a dentite, people. I want you to know about Dr. Jeffrey Purk. I am at Circuit of the Americas with Dr. Jeffrey Purk, the fastest dentist in dentistry. And Jeff, thanks so much for joining me. This is great. I am so excited.
Good to be here with you, Todd.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how you got into dentistry and how you're this great racer.
Well, thanks. Well, got into dentistry because as a teenager, I had braces and really looked up to my orthodontist. Thought that would be a good way to make a living. So no one said anything different, and I was smart enough to get into dental school, or dumb enough. I don't know. It depends on your opinion.
No, you were smart. That was good.
And then, the plan was to be an orthodontist. So go through dental school, and then went through oral surgery. The way that school works, we kind of rotate through all the specialties, and I was really excited by oral surgery. It was just a lot of fun, and apparently I had some aptitude, and a lot of the staff kind of, I guess, took me under their wing and sort of pushed me or sort of molded me, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, they were very encouraging, and so I kind of did a 180 in dentistry and went from the nice easy life with no call and no blood, no anesthetic of doing braces to the exact opposite. Yeah. So that's what I do today.
So I understand you're in Iowa, and you tend to just do extractions, right? Like
So I did go into oral surgery, then kind of went a different direction for a little bit, and then ended up being asked to teach at Iowa, and got some more credentialing, and ended up coming up with a business model to essentially serve the Medicaid underserved population in Des Moines, Iowa, because for years, if they needed the service I provide, they would have to drive another 120 miles to the university. So I essentially brought the university clinic to Des Moines on my dime, and I managed to figure out a way to make a living doing what I like to do, and lets me continue to race, because I've been racing all along, and then took a little sabbatical from racing to go teach, and then opened up my office and figured out I could still manage to be away and go race. So
let's cut to the chase. Let's talk about this bike first, and like why you're here, why you're in Austin, Circuit of the Americas, what Moto America is, and then we'll get back into your history and how you got into all this. So tell us about this thing.
All right. So Moto America is the premier road racing series in the United States, and in Moto America, the premier class is the superbike class. So what that means is motorcycles come off the showroom floor. And then modify them to essentially whatever you can afford to modify it to. And for years, I basically was very basic stuff, nothing extravagant, couldn't afford it, didn't have the resources, didn't have the knowledge.
And you've been doing this your whole life, right?
I've been doing it 25 years, 26 years now, 26. So the national series on and off during that time. But the last few years, I've been trying to do most of the series, and did stock 1,000 and was able to qualify in the superbike class, which I had raced before, but with age comes a little bit of decrease in skills and getting a little slower.
No. I gotta stop you right here. So you are racing people half your age.
True.
Yes. Right. And you were competing with them, and there's probably very few people you know what I'll dare say? There's nobody like you in the entire world that has this hobby. And how old are you?
54, 55 in another month.
55-ish, and you were what, a second behind the top rider in motor, or how close?
No, not that close. I wish.
Yeah.
I'm fast enough to be on the same grid in the same race with those guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And very few 40-year-olds could even say that.
True.
Right.
And there's no other dentist that I know that can say that.
I bet there's no dentist that can do it.
Except you. You were the up and comer.
No, well, how we met, I just happened to be at a track day, and this guy was like right next to me doing his practicing, and I saw the Legacy Dental van, here, Legacy Dental van, and I thought, how in the world is this guy riding off this track day? So I went and talked to him, and we kind of hit it off. We both like Guinness and kind of similar stories, but I'm no racer. There's no doubt about it. But
give it time.
Yeah, well, what drives you? What keeps you like wanting to do this more and more?
It's just, I've been on motorcycles since I was 4, so it's just part of who I am. And if I'm not on 2 wheels, there's just kind of something missing. And I people ask me, or it comes up in conversation. I race motorcycles. Oh, you drag racing? No, it's different. Oh, you go around in an oval? No, you're on dirt. No, it's the United States. People don't really understand road racing.
Yeah.
And I've always, for a long time, called it a ballet on 2 wheels, because if you watch, riders in slow motion, you see what they're doing, and the body movement, leaning off the bike, and bikes next to them. I mean, literally, we're within inches, leaned over at 60 degrees, going 100 miles an hour through a corner.
Yeah.
There's no choreographer, but you have a lot of trust and faith in the other guy, and it's not about the top speed. It's I would have the same amount of fun, on a bike that would go 100 miles an hour versus a bike that goes close to 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's about, can I go into this corner later than the next guy? Can I get out of the corner faster and get to the next one before them? It's the competition, not the raw pure speed. If it's just speed, I go drag racing. That's that's over in 6 to 10 seconds. That's no fun.
So I'm at. I know it's not about the speed, but everybody wants to know how fast can you go on this bike, you think?
This bike, I've not had the opportunity to go as fast as it can. I've never had this bike out of 4th gear.
4th gear.
But this particular bike last year at Indy did 192 down the front straight.
That's pretty smoking. That's
pretty fast.
That's pretty fast.
That's pretty fast.
Now at Circuit of the Americas, which has a big long back
It's a
straight,
longer straightaway.
What do you think? No, but are you going to try to push it as hard as you can,
or as fast as I can?
Love
why I'm here. Fast as I can go. Maybe not as fast as this bike is capable of going.
So I imagine if you've ridden a motorcycle or moped or anything, you take that throttle and you gas it all the way. I mean, you were doing that as much as you possibly. You're either on throttle or on the brake, right?
Ideally, yeah. I mean, we have data acquisition, and I've had the opportunity with Attack Performance. This is their former bike that I was lucky enough to be able to buy. Borrow money to buy it, but it's apparently mine. So, we have data acquisition and very advanced electronics on this bike, which I've never had the opportunity to use. And so, theoretically, yes, you can go in and then just, go full throttle, and the electronics kind of take over.
Yeah.
So I don't have enough faith in the electronics to do that yet. I'm hoping to get there, because when you look at the data from the other, the reigning Superbike champion, Cameron Beaubier, yeah, they are, basically from here to there, and then they're off, they brake, and then they're here to there again. You look at my trace, it's like, and I'm kind of, so it's a skill that can be developed, but you also got to have some raw talent.
So there's sensors all over this bike.
Oh, yeah.
In the
I don't
suspension.
even know where they're all at.
Where they're all at. And basically there's a data logging,
Yep.
There's a brain, like a black box, I guess, kind of type thing. And then you plug it into the computer, there's software, and it gives you charts and graphs. And
there's so
how
much
do you
stuff.
decipher all that?
I don't. I got a guy that looks at it for me.
Oh, so
it's just a bunch of lines and squiggles that there's so much data, you can't look at all of it. I mean, we dumb it down to just some very basic stuff, at least for right now.
Right.
And then, as I basically grow into the bike, and get better, and we start needing to, look at geometry and suspension, then we can start diving deeper into the graphs and try to make some educated changes. But
you know what I love about you?
what's that?
Is the energy that comes through you when you're like when you were talking about dentistry. It was kind of we kind of got through all that, and don't get me wrong, dentistry is good.
It's a means to an end. It lets me do what I love to do. I mean, I love doing surgery, but it affords
Pays
me
the
the
bill.
opportunity to do things that I really love to enjoy
Yeah.
doing. I mean, it's the same way you come out here on your Ducati.
Yeah.
You love to ride the motorcycle.
I'm just trying not to die. Like you're trying to go faster. I'm trying not to die around the corner because.
Not gonna die out here. There's lots of runs. This is a great track.
So you realize how really blessed you are. You may not feel that way, but you really are because you have a core passion in something and you know how to feed it. You can make it happen. You have the schedule to do it, and you have the drive to get off the couch and go and make it happen. There aren't a lot of people that have that. So why do you? Is this a genetic thing or is this what is it? Addiction?
Addiction. Yeah, that's probably the best way to sum it up. I mean, I've always been athletic. Some type of sport, either individual or team. And I was always going to school, so I always had the academic side, but I also had the athletic side. And the great thing about a motorcycle is you don't have to be 6'6" and jump 3 feet off the ground or run, the 40 and 4.3.
Right.
You have to have skill, but it's not about, physical brute strength or speed. It's about, depth perception and, reaction time and sense of speed. And
imagine
can you move on the
focus.
bike?
Can you stay focused and not let things get to you?
Well, that's the other great thing. When you're on this bike, we were talking about this before, is everything else disappears. You have to be in the moment. Because if you're not, you're probably ending up on the ground.
Yeah.
So everything else disappears for that little bit of time.
So do you think it's almost therapy?
Oh, yeah. I am a basket case from about November to March in Iowa when you can't ride. Yeah, it's miserable.
I bet.
So thank God for PlayStation and MotoGP.
Yeah, well, you get to watch a little bit on TV. So, the thing is about Moto America, and it's, the riders, some of them are sponsored, some of them aren't. And one of the things I love about what you do is you've been doing this on your own. And, like, if any of my dental friends out there want to put your logo on this unbelievably fast bike, I think we could probably make it happen for you.
I think we got plenty of room. We'll make room. Yes. No, I've, again, as you said, been blessed enough that I could afford to, race on my own dime, which I have my entire racing career, much to the chagrin of my mother. Even at my age, she's still
worried about her boy.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's at one time I had these grand designs of getting a factory ride and getting paid to do this.
What does that mean? What does a factory ride mean?
It means that I show up, everything is ready, I put on my leathers, I get on the bike, and I get paid to go race.
Yeah.
I am not driving my stuff to and from the track. I am not pulling all-nighters rebuilding a motor. I am not pulling out my credit card to pay for my race tires and my race fuel and my race entry. That was a dream 20 years ago, but when I started, I was pretty much too old. I think I had the talent. Just, to get a paid ride back in the day, you need the talent, but you also need to know the right people and be in the right place at the right time.
The politics of it.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure it's the
there's
same.
Plenty of politics in racing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But the greatest thing, though, is you compete with the people that are factory riders, and you were on the track, you were on the grid with them. You qualify to ride with them.
That's the thing I love most about this is I could never be on a Major League Baseball team. I couldn't be in the show. I'm in the show.
Exactly. Right. You are in the show.
I'm in the show.
That's right.
This is it.
That's awesome. Well, maybe tell everybody like how they can find you. They can watch you, look you up, where they can find Moto America online.
MotoAmerica.com. That's pretty straightforward. They everything, all the races are streamed live. They're unfortunately no longer on television.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm not a very social media tech savvy guy. My buddy back there, Race, he's a little better at it. Apparently, I have an Instagram account that I've never used.
Nice. Well, we need to load it up.
Yeah. So I will try to start putting things out there more
Good.
and more. I am on Facebook, just Jeff Purk on Facebook. If someone wants to get a hold of me, that's a great place to start. Always looking for friends, and we'll try to post some things on there and get that Instagram account going. And
yeah, and if you're in Des Moines and you need an extraction, you can come to Legacy Dental. Yeah,
darn right. Yeah, South Side, about 5 minutes from the airport, so you can even fly in, and I'll come pick you up.
Man, I wish you could see this bike in person. This thing is absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to see you ride it tomorrow. So
I can't wait to ride it tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, you're chomping at the bit to do it. Dr. Purk,
I didn't sleep much tonight.
Thanks so much.
Thank
and
you.
Hey, my dental friends, let's support our colleague. He is truly the fastest dentist in the world.